When a new dog has entered her heat cycle, when is the best time to breed her? Revival's Director of Veterinary Services, Dr. Marty Greer, is a leading veterinary expert in canine reproduction. Now, Dr. Greer, what is your answer to this question, and how young is too young?
Well, the first heat cycle is generally considered to be too young to breed for a couple of reasons. One is oftentimes we need to do health screenings that can't take place before the dogs are 2 or older. The other is oftentimes the first heat cycle is not a fertile cycle. It's sort of a pretend cycle. I'm just going to kind of test drive my ovaries and see how it goes. But a lot of times if you try to breed on that cycle, she may stand, you may get a mating, but you may not end up with a pregnancy. So you may want to skip that first heat.
Okay, and you talked about some of the testing they should go through before you actually do breed. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. So we want a brucellosis test to make sure that she doesn't have any infectious disease that would be either influential to her pregnancy or the male dog's fertility. And secondly, we want to make sure she's been through all of her health screenings. Now, each breed has their own set of health screenings, and frequently if you go to the website of the breed or to the Canine Health Information Center's website, that information is on their website for what each breed should have screened. So it may be hips, it may be elbows, it may be hearts, it may be eyes, it may be DNA tests. There's a lot of screenings that we're doing now to make sure that the dogs in our breeding programs are healthy dogs.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about progesterone testing. When should that be done?
So once a dog comes into heat, we typically recommend progesterone testing on day 6 or 7 of her heat cycle, from the time that you see the first bloody vaginal discharge. At that point, you can start the blood testing for progesterones. We recommend repeating them every several days, maybe every 3 days, until she gets close to ovulation. Ovulation on most equipment is considered to be 5 nanograms per milliliter. Depends a little bit on the equipment you're using and if there's a chart to interpret your result. Some of the machines have an interpretation chart that go with them. So once the standard progesterone result is at 5 nanograms per deciliter, we breed 2 days later with natural breeding or fresh semen and 3 days later with frozen semen. So it's very important when you're using those resources, whether it's your male dog, not overusing him, or whether it's frozen semen or fresh chilled semen, that we have our timing right. Without great timing, we don't have great fertility.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Greer. Hi, if you're watching on YouTube, consider subscribing to the Revival Animal Health YouTube channel. If you have a pet health question, call our pet care pros at this number. And don't miss our other pet health videos.